PCP, also known as phencyclidine, is a drug used for recreation. It was first made for surgeries, but now people use it for fun. People take it by mouth, sniffing, or smoking it. PCP makes you see things that aren't real and feel disconnected from reality. Using PCP can be dangerous and cause problems like acting crazy, violence, memory loss, and trouble breathing. Steroids, also called anabolic androgenic steroids, are man-made versions of the hormone testosterone. People take them by mouth or injection. Doctors use steroids to treat problems like delayed puberty and muscle diseases. But some athletes and bodybuilders misuse them to build muscles and improve performance. Using steroids the wrong way can harm your liver, heart, hormones, fertility, mental health, and make you dependent on them. Nitrous oxide, often called laughing gas, is a gas used by dentists to numb pain and make patients feel relaxed. It's breathed in through a mask. Nitrous oxide calms the brain and reduces pain, making people feel happy and relaxed. It's safe when used by doctors, but using it for fun can be dangerous, causing oxygen loss, dizziness, coordination problems, and even brain damage. Azithromycin, an antibiotic drug in the family of macrolide drugs. Azithromycin treats a variety of infections, including infections of the ears, throat, lungs, sinuses, skin, and gastrointestinal and genitourinary tracts. It works by inhibiting the growth of bacteria. Azithromycin is available in tablet, liquid suspension, and injectable form. Azithromycin is on the WHO list of essential medicines. You can find azithromycin sold under various brand names across the world, like Abactin, Astro, Avzeth, Cetaxim, Hemamycin, Ultrion, and Zeto. Azithromycin may cause side effects such as diarrhea, nausea, and abdominal pain. Azithromycin can interact with other medications, such as antacids and certain anticoagulants, potentially reducing its effectiveness or increasing the risk of side effects. Atorvastatin, marketed as Lipitor, is a statin medication. It is used to decrease the amount of bad cholesterol, fats, and increases levels of good cholesterol in the blood. The body produces by interfering with an enzyme in the liver needed to produce cholesterol. Atorvastatin isn't recommended for children under 10. Atorvastatin may cause side effects such as muscle pain, diarrhea, and liver problems. Precautions involve keeping an eye on liver health and avoiding excessive alcohol intake. Atorvastatin can interact with other medications, such as certain antibiotics and antifungal drugs, potentially increasing the risk of muscle toxicity or liver damage. Atomoxetine, sold under the brand name Strattera, is a medication used to treat attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, by increasing the levels of norepinephrine in the brain, improving concentration and impulse control. It was the first non-stimulant drug approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for the treatment of ADHD, though the stimulants remain the support of ADHD therapy. Atomoxetine can lead to side effects like nausea, dry mouth, and insomnia. It's important to watch for signs of suicidal thoughts or behavior, particularly in children and adolescents. Using alcohol while taking atomoxetine may create toxic reactions in the body and should be avoided. Caffeine may also cause toxicity. Atenolol, a cardiovascular drug known as a beta blocker, used to treat high blood pressure and chest pain, angina, by blocking the effects of adrenaline on the heart and blood vessels, slowing heart rate and reducing blood pressure. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, initially approved the drug in 1981. Atenolol may cause side effects such as fatigue, dizziness, and cold hands or feet. Precautions include avoiding sudden discontinuation of the medication, as it can worsen heart conditions. Atenolol can interact with other medications, such as calcium channel blockers and antidepressants, potentially causing additive effects on heart rate or blood pressure. Aspirin. Aspirin is a pain reliever and fever reducer used for various minor aches like headache, toothache, muscle pain, menstrual cramps, arthritis, and cold flu symptoms. It belongs to salicylates, quickly absorbed for long-lasting relief by blocking pain chemicals. It also reduces inflammation. Avoid giving aspirin to children with flu or chickenpox due to Reyes syndrome risk. Stick to recommended dosage to prevent stomach irritation. Take with food or water. Alcohol can worsen stomach issues. Aspirin can interact with medications like methotrexate and valproic acid and increase bleeding risk with blood thinners like warfarin and decumerol. Armodafinil, a medication used to treat excessive sleepiness associated with narcolepsy, obstructive sleep apnea, and shift work sleep disorder. It works by increasing the levels of dopamine in the brain, promoting wakefulness. Armodafinil may cause side effects such as headache, nausea, and anxiety. Precautions include avoiding use in patients with a history of heart problems or substance abuse. Armodafinil can interact with other medications, such as monoamine oxidase inhibitors and hormonal contraceptives, potentially reducing their effectiveness or increasing the risk of adverse effects. Aripiprazole, sold as Abilify, is a newer antipsychotic used for short-term treatment of acute psychotic and manic states, agitation and dementia, and long-term treatment of chronic psychotic disorders like schizophrenia. It works by modulating the activity of dopamine and serotonin receptors in the brain. Aripiprazole belongs to atypical antipsychotics, known for lower risk of certain side effects compared to traditional antipsychotics. Approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration in 2002, it's also used for bipolar disorder episodes after stabilization. Avoid alcohol while taking aripiprazole due to potential interactions with drugs like famotidine, valproate, lithium, dextromethorphan, warfarin, omeprazole, and lorazepam. Amoxicillin, a widely used penicillin antibiotic, treats bacterial infections like ear, lung, sinus, skin, and urinary tract infections. In the U.S., it's called Moxitag. It can also be used for stomach ulcers. Amoxicillin fights bacteria such as H. influenzae, E. coli, N. gonorrhea, and Streptococcus pneumoniae. Sometimes it's combined with clavulanic acid, sold as Augmentin, to boost effectiveness. Side effects may include diarrhea, nausea, and rash. Take with food to reduce stomach upset and complete the full course of treatment. Be cautious of interactions with other medications like oral contraceptives and warfarin, which can reduce effectiveness or increase bleeding risk. Amlodipine is a calcium channel blocker used to treat high blood pressure and chest pain, angina, by relaxing blood vessels and improving blood flow. You can find it in USA with the brand name Norvasc. Amlodipine besylate is one of a group of drugs known as long-acting dihydropyridine-type calcium channel blockers. Amlodipine may cause side effects such as swelling of the ankles, dizziness, and flushing. Precautions include regular blood pressure monitoring and avoiding sudden discontinuation of the medication to prevent rebound hypertension. Amlodipine can interact with other medications, such as beta blockers and certain antibiotics, potentially causing additive effects on blood pressure or heart rate. Amitriptyline, a tricyclic antidepressant, is prescribed for depression, neuropathic pain, and migraines by boosting serotonin and norepinephrine levels in the brain. It's also used for cancer-related pain and chronic pain. Typically taken at bedtime, it aids sleep. In the U.S., it's marketed as Elavil and Endep. Alcohol can enhance its sedative effects, while black tea may reduce its absorption. Patients should take the drug and tea at least 2 hours apart. Not for children under 12. Amitriptyline may lead to drowsiness, dry mouth, and blurred vision. Watch for worsening depression or suicidal thoughts, especially in young people. Avoid combining it with monoamine oxidase inhibitors or antipsychotics to prevent serotonin syndrome or increase sedation. Alprazolam, a tranquilizer, is U.S. Food and Drug Administration, approved for treating anxiety, panic disorder, and anxiety linked with depression. It's a benzodiazepine that induces less drowsiness than others, functioning by slowing brain activity to alleviate anxiety. While it can aid alcohol withdrawal, this isn't FDA approved. Side effects include drowsiness, dizziness, and memory problems. Avoid alcohol and grapefruit due to increased side effects. Be cautious of interactions with antidepressants and antifungal drugs, which can worsen side effects. Avoid driving or operating machinery while on alprazolam. In the U.S., it's marketed as Xanax. Almotriptan treats migraines by narrowing brain blood vessels and reducing migraine-triggering substances. It's a triptan medication, sold as Axert in the U.S. and Canada, approved by the FDA in 2001 for adult migraine treatment. Side effects include dizziness, drowsiness, and chest tightness. Avoid if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure or heart disease. Interactions with selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors and monoamine oxidase inhibitors can cause serotonin syndrome. Ecstasy, a drug that makes people feel really happy. It's made from certain plants and comes in pills or capsules. Doctors think it might help with some mental health problems like post-traumatic stress disorder and anxiety. But if you use it for fun, it can be dangerous. It can make you thirsty, too hot, or mess up your brain if you use it a lot. Methamphetamine, also known as meth, is a strong drug that speeds up the brain. People usually make it secretly using certain chemicals. They take it by swallowing, sniffing, smoking, or injecting it. Although it's used in some medicines for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and obesity, using it for fun is very dangerous. It can lead to addiction, heart issues, bad teeth, meth mouth, and brain damage. Oxycodone is a strong pain medicine made from a substance in poppy plants. Doctors often give it for serious pain. People usually swallow it in pills, but some inject it. If used correctly, it helps with pain, but it's easy to get addicted. Taking it the wrong way can make breathing slow down or cause an overdose, which can be deadly. Morphine is a strong painkiller made from an opium poppy plant. Doctors often use it for severe pain, like after surgery or in cancer patients. They give it as a pill, through a needle in the vein, or with a shot. It works well for pain, but it's easy to get hooked. Using it the wrong way can make breathing slow down or cause an overdose, which can be dangerous. Benzodiazepines are drugs used to treat anxiety, sleep problems, and seizures. They make a neurotransmitter called GABA work better, which calms down brain activity. Some common ones are Valium, Xanax, and Ativan. People usually take them as pills. They can help in the short term, but they're addictive and can cause problems like dependence, withdrawal, and breathing issues, especially if mixed with alcohol or other drugs. Ritalin, also known as methylphenidate, helps with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and narcolepsy. It's a pill that boosts dopamine and norepinephrine in the brain to improve focus. Taking it as prescribed is safe, but it can lead to habits and side effects like trouble sleeping, faster heart rate, and less appetite. Codeine is a painkiller and cough medicine made from opium or morphine. People often take it in pills or liquid. It's not as strong as morphine, but it can still be addictive and make breathing slow down if you take too much or mix it with other drugs. Psilocybin is a natural drug in certain mushrooms called magic mushrooms or shrooms. People eat these mushrooms or make tea from them. Psilocybin makes you see things differently and have strong feelings. It works on the brain's serotonin receptors. Using psilocybin might not hurt your body much, but it can affect your mind, causing anxiety or other mental health issues, especially if you're already prone to them. Peyote is a small cactus found in Mexico and the southwestern U.S. It has a substance called mescaline that makes people hallucinate. Indigenous groups have used it in ceremonies for many years. People usually eat or drink it by making tea from the dried or fresh cactus buttons. Peyote can make you see things differently and have deep spiritual experiences. Even though it's respected in ceremonies, it can still make you feel sick or upset mentally. Vicodin is a pain medication made of hydrocodone and acetaminophen. It's used for moderate to severe pain. You usually take it as a pill. Hydrocodone helps with pain by acting on the brain and spinal cord, but it can be addictive and dangerous if misused or combined with other drugs. Tramadol is a medicine for pain. It's like an opioid, but not as strong. It helps with moderate to somewhat bad pain. People usually take it as pills. It's safer than some other pain medicines, but it can still make you addicted or cause problems if you use it wrong or mix it with other drugs. Adderall is a medication for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and narcolepsy. It boosts dopamine and norepinephrine in the brain to help focus. It's usually a pill taken by mouth. While it helps with ADHD, it can be addictive and abused. Misusing can cause tolerance, dependence, heart problems, and mental health issues. Marijuana, also called cannabis, is a drug made from the cannabis sativa plant. People usually smoke its dried flowers, leaves, or extracts like hashish or hash oil. It has cannabinoids, including tetrahydrocannabinol, that affect the brain, causing changes in perception, relaxation, and happiness. Marijuana is used for fun and to help with pain and nausea, but using it a lot or for a long time can hurt memory, thinking, lungs, and mental health, especially in young or sensitive people. Ibogaine is a substance from Tabernanthe iboga plant in West Africa. It's used to help people addicted to drugs. People take it in capsules or powder form. It works by affecting how the brain works, making people think deeply and feel their emotions. It can also help reduce the desire for drugs. Ativan is a type of medicine called lorazepam. It helps with anxiety, seizures, and trouble sleeping. It works by calming down the brain. People usually take Ativan in pill or liquid form by mouth. It's good for short-term use, especially for anxiety. Valium is a medicine called diazepam. It helps with anxiety, muscle spasms, alcohol withdrawal, and seizures. It works by calming down the brain. People usually take Valium in pill or liquid form by mouth. Gabapentin is a medication used to treat seizures, nerve pain, and restless legs. It works by changing how calcium channels in the brain work, which helps reduce the release of certain brain chemicals. People usually take it in pill or capsule form by mouth. While it's usually safe, it can cause dizziness and drowsiness. Alcohol, found in drinks like beer, wine, and spirits, affects the brain when consumed. It relaxes you, lowers inhibitions, and affects judgment. Alcohol does this by changing how certain brain chemicals work. Having a little alcohol might be good for the heart, but too much can lead to addiction, liver damage, heart issues, brain harm, and accidents. Nicotine is a stimulant in tobacco found in cigarettes, cigars, and e-cigarettes. It makes you more alert and feel good. When you smoke or chew tobacco, nicotine goes into your bloodstream. It acts on receptors in your brain, giving you a boost. But tobacco smoke has lots of bad stuff that can cause cancer, heart disease, breathing issues, and more. Heroin. Heroin is a dangerous drug made from morphine found in opium poppy plants. People use it by injecting, snorting, or smoking it. It makes you feel really good and relieves pain, but it's addictive and can cause overdoses, infections, and problems with thinking. Treatment involves medications like methadone and therapy.